So after the last legislative session, I did a bunch of post-session recaps, and one was at the Gig Harbor Chamber of Commerce. I talked about, while I was there, a bill that we passed last year that enabled someone who'd served in the military to have that military experience considered when pursuing a professional license, if they want to become a nurse or a commercial truck driver or something like that, to make sure that their military experience would count towards seeking a professional license. When I finished that talk, there was a soldier there from Joint Base Lewis McChord who came up to me and she said, "My family moved here from the South, and my husband was a teacher, and have you looked at doing something for spouses so that if a civilian spouse is a teacher or a nurse or an architect or some other profession that requires a professional license, that their license in another state is sort of considered here in our state, so that there's some sort of reciprocity?" And I said, well, let's look into that. And what I found was that there's a real opportunity here. There are an estimated 43,000 spouses of active and reserve military members here in Washington. The Department of Defense has done some surveys looking at issues impacting military spouses, and here's what they found. More than 3/4 of military spouses report that they want to work or that they need to work for their family's finances. About 1/3 of those military spouses in the labor force are required to be fully licensed with some sort of professional license. Again, nursing or teaching or anything from massage therapists to hairdressers need professional licenses. About 1/5 of those military spouses have experienced some challenges maintaining their professional licenses, particularly as they move between states. So how does that play out? Well, in our state, you see an unemployment rate for military spouses that's estimated to be in the 20% range, so very high. And so this seems like an opportunity for us to weigh in and try to make a difference on behalf of these families that are serving our country and making real sacrifices. We looked into this. I've been working with the Department of Defense. So far, 11 states have passed laws dealing with this issue, and we're looking at a bill that would really do two things. One, it would provide a temporary license for someone who has a professional license in another state and has moved into our state as part of a military relocation. And second, an expedited path to a permanent license. So that someone's license in another state could sort of count towards their professional license here. I mentioned that I've been working with the Department of Defense on this, and that's in part because this has become a real priority for the DoD. 2/3 of married service members report that their spouse's ability to maintain a career impacts their decision to remain in the military, and so they look at this as a way to retain service members. I look at that as certainly an important issue. Also, just making sure that we have the backs of those people who've served our country. So this bill was recently unanimously supported out of the Joint Committee on Military and Veteran Affairs. It's now working its way through the legislative process, and I'll be sure to keep folks up to date as the bill moves on from here. So stay tuned.